Hello everyone, it's Leo and it's time to get very Kiraala to talk about episode 28 from You and Idol PreCure. What an amazing episode! Oh my god, I love Uta so much. And this was truly an incredible Uta moment. What a sweet episode this was. I really loved it. And we have the origin, the tale of the origin of the Kiraala and how Uta created it for the first time. It was very touching, emotional, and I obviously cried a little bit because my heart was full with this. It was truly amazing. What a powerful moment. So, in this episode, we have a scenario in which they all go to Uta's grandfather's house, which is in the countryside, and there's a place that they can have a lot of fun, eat lots of delicious things. The air there is better. We see Tanaka. Tanaka drives everyone who is not from Uta's family. He drives Purirun, Meruran, Nana, and Kokoro. And they go also, obviously, thankfully, I mean, the team had to be complete. And we see Tanaka's license as well. We get to know Uta's grandfather. And we also get to see a little bit on Kyutaro's or Kyu-chan's backstory, which is Uta's dog. And we get to learn that he actually lived with Uta's grandmother. And he went to Uta's house after Uta's grandmother passed away. A funny thing, a little funny detail, is that Uta's dog, Kyu-chan, has a voice actor. We've known that since episode 1, and his voice actor is a very famous, a very big name in the voice acting world. So obviously they got him to do his role as in talking in this episode. So we have Kyu-chan talking in certain moments. We hear his inner dialogues, and it was really amazing, especially when the girls learn about his story and he goes like, ooh, dogs have stories too. That was very sweet. And so they have a very good time. Everyone is very excited to be there. And Uta, Nana, Kokoro, Purirun, Meruran, and Hamori, they go around, they eat lots of delicious things, they have a good time. And then when they get back inside, they're eating some watermelons. We even see Purirun obviously having a lot of fun with watermelons as well. Purirun loves eating. I love Purirun's big mouth. They start talking a little bit about Uta's grandmother, her slippers that Kyu-chan loves, and Uta starts reminding herself of certain things and certain moments with her grandma, which are very sweet. And I feel like one thing that was very important in this first moment was that Uta was very happy. And she was smiling, and every time she talked about her grandmother, it was full of happiness. She had lots of fond memories of her. But when her grandfather came in and asked Uta to help him because he wanted to take her things away from her room, Uta got very sad. Uta's grandfather's idea was to get Uta's help so that they could arrange all of her stuff that were still in her room even after she passed away. It was 6 years ago, so it's been a while. And he wanted to store them. But Uta got really sad and she just ran away. She just didn't want to deal with that. And as the episode went on, we got to understand why. We see that Uta left everybody. She stood by herself and she started crying, reminding herself of a sweet moment with her grandma. And this sweet moment was when Uta was very small and she was talking to her. Kyu-chan was also there. And Uta was feeling very sad because she fought with a friend. And her grandmother, seeing her with that sad face, told her that she was feeling shobababon, which is this, at least to her grandma, this feeling that you have when you feel sad. And Uta was feeling that way. And her grandmother told her that it's possible to change that if you talk to your friend and say you're sorry. But Uta forgot what came after that. And she was very afraid of forgetting other things about her grandmother if they stored her things away. I love how the episode dealt with that. I love how the narrative dealt with that because whenever we say goodbye to someone we love, what we have with us are the memories. What we have with us are the good moments that we lived together. And those things with time, they don't get lost, but memories are a fickle thing. They can change. We can forget things and we can forget details. And the memories might not exist in the future as they exist now. They might not be as strong. So it's painful for Uta to think of a possibility of getting all of the stuff from her grandma and store them away and get the possibility of losing more memories that she already lost. She was very young when she used to be close to her grandma, nonetheless. So she was feeling that, and I felt that it was very relatable. But at the same time, Kyu-chan, the dog, came with an answer, not to Uta, but to everyone else. He came with a little picture. And Uta's grandfather told that little picture is a special place in which Uta's grandmother stored something special there so that Uta could find one day. And he didn't exactly know where it was, but he knew that it was somewhere. And that is something that for Uta would be very special. And so everyone got together to try and dig and find this special thing. They didn't really know what they were searching for, but they started searching for it. At the same time, we have the villain side, Team Chokiri, now solo Chokiri, I feel, because it is only Chokirine. And Chokirine is there pretending to be happy because she's all by herself and she's saying how good it is to be by herself. But then reality kicks in and she is actually very sad that she is all by herself. She is not feeling very good. We can notice that. And so she just says that she's going to travel and she will go to a different place. And she ended up where the idol team was, obviously. And before we go on, it is time for another Idol Corner. In this episode of Idol Corner, it's time to talk about Philosophy no Dance. Philosophy no Dance is a group that debuted in 2020. Currently with 5 members, it's also known as the Dance for Philosophy. Something that really stands out for this group is their music style. With inspirations from funk, R&B, and soul, their songs are very unique and peculiar. They have also done songs for popular anime series like Mashle, Mahoka, and Ayakashi Triangle. Philosophy no Dance song recommendations are Liar Girl, Love Me More, Neppu wa Duten Suru, Mayocha wa. Coming back to the episode, we have Nana, Kokoro, Kyu-chan, and Purirun digging. Madonon even gets a shovel for herself, but she's like not that excited to dig. And so they start digging, like everyone is excited. Nana and Kokoro, they dig a little bit, but the real powerhouses are Purirun and Kyu-chan. And I don't know if Purirun and Kyu-chan can understand each other, but it is clear that they were having the same feeling. Both of them are very strong friends for Uta, and they love Uta very much. We see this in this episode with Kyu-chan. He does everything he wants and he can for Uta, and we've seen how much Purirun has done for Uta in the show so far as well. There is an important thing here in this scene where Madonon is looking at them, and especially at Purirun. She's not caving in, she's not digging, and she is with her white Kiraki light rooting for Purirun. And she starts saying that she does not understand. Purirun is getting all dirty. She doesn't even know what she's looking for, what's there buried, and she is doing everything she can to find that something for Uta. And Purirun then answers by saying that it's because she loves Uta. Uta is her friend. And that is why she is giving it her all. That is what we should do for our friends. And Meteron, she understands, but she does not want to come to terms with the fact that this is something that she wanted for herself. She wanted Purirun to do that for her, not for others. And it is hard for Meteron to come to terms with this feeling. And this is something that she will have to eventually deal with, right? And so they end up finding the special item, and Kyu-chan is all happy, full of kira. At this moment, we have her, Chokirine, arriving, and she transforms Kyu-chan into a Kurayaminda. Girl, that should be a crime. No, don't do that to dogs. Don't do that to dogs. Dogs are no limit. They're like, do not cross. Please, don't do that. But Kyu-chan was the Kurayaminda. And at the same time, Uta was there in her grandmother's room. She was sleeping, and then she woke up. She started searching for them, and she noticed that the sky was dark, and she obviously knows what that means. And so she ran and met the girls, and they transform. I really love the transformation scene. Not the transformation scene itself, but the way they pick the idol heart brooch to transform. It was so pretty. It was so beautifully drawn. Oh my god. And then we have the fighting scene, which was surprisingly one of the best fighting scenes of UN Idol so far. I like the UN Idol fighting scenes. I have fun with them, but they are very reliant on the minor attacks, which is cool for the idol PreCure. I've been saying a lot of times how I feel that Zukyun Kiss aren't very, it's not very exciting to watch them fight with their stock footage, while the idol PreCures, it is exciting. But in here, in today's episode, they use it, yes, they use it, but they fought without it as well. It's so exciting to see them fight without it. Oh my god. I loved it. It was so cool. The way Idol fought, and then Kyun and then Wink kicking. It was incredible. And then they started using their stock footage, but it was nice, you know, the way Idol used the Idol punch, and then Kyun laser, Wink barrier as well to protect Idol. It was later on. But then, thankfully, we did not have Zukyun bazooka, because Zukyun was able to kick just by herself. We had another moment of Zukyun Kiss hitting as well. Very, very nice. Oh my god. I was really impressed. And so the girls have, and Kyu-chan, they have found the special item that Idol's grandmother had stored. And Idol gets it. And when she gets it, Chokirine diverges the Kurayamida to attack Cura Idol. Cura Wink protects her, and then Cura Idol notices that that is the one thing that her grandmother stored. She didn't even know that that was something that existed. And then she got to know, she opened it, and she found the spoon. When I saw the spoon in the preview from last week's episode, I thought, okay, this is going to be something that her grandmother gave her. But that was not the case. In here, we have the origin of the Kiraala, and it was so beautiful. When she picked up the spoon, she remembered what she had forgotten. I am someone with a very bad memory. And so to try and remember things, I need triggers. So I take pictures, I store letters, I store presents, and certain things that remind me of certain people or certain events in my life. And I found that scene very special because whenever she got that spoon, she instantly got reminded of something that happened in the past and that was so special to her. At that moment that she was feeling shobobobon, her grandmother gave her some advice and then offered her some pudding. And she got the spoon and she started eating the pudding. But then, after little Uta, finished eating the pudding, she asked for a ribbon. Ribbons are a very important symbol in You and Idol PreCure. They represent the connection, the bonds, the friendships, and they are the one thing that is cut whenever Team Chokiri attacks. And in here, it is the moment in which Uta started singing to her grandmother. And that was a moment in which Uta learned to take the shobobobon and turn into something else. The sadness can be turned into happiness. How can Uta do it? For Uta, that is through singing. And after she sang to her grandma, she told her, I'm not feeling shobobobon anymore. I am feeling kira. Not really kira. It's something stronger than that. It's Kiraala. And the term was created. It was created in a moment between Uta and her grandmother that she loved so much. That very strong and special relationship they had. That was the moment that Kiraala was born. Something that is extremely important to Uta as a person, as a character. And also another thing that is important, since she was very, very small, she was singing into the same melody as Egao no Unison. And that is what Cure Idol is going to do. Cure Idol, now remembering the past and how the Kiraala was born, she goes all in. She does Idol fist touch without the stock footage for the first time. That was very cool. And she finishes the Kurayaminda by delivering her solo performance. Egao no Unison is such a special song. I love it. I find it incredible. I am crazy over this song. I'm crazy about Cure Idol. And Q-chan was saved. After that, they go back to Uta's grandma's house, and there they talk a little bit more. Uta shares her happiness with Q-chan. Q-chan is there. Q-chan is trying to remember what happened. He was a Kurayaminda, and we know that the victims do not remember exactly what happened when they were Kurayaminda. And Uta comes to terms with something very special between her and her grandmother, even though she is not here anymore. We, as humans, are all gonna go through a goodbye in our lives. This is part of our experience as humans. This is part of our journey in this world. We're gonna part ways with loved ones, and what is going to stay are the memories, the good moments, maybe the bad moments too, but those are going to remain. And Uta has learned that even if you store away certain things from your loved one, they're still there with you in their own way. And so she was able to overcome the sadness that she felt by having to say goodbye to certain things about her grandmother. It is hard, but it is life. And so the episode finishes with a big moment of karaoke. Everyone is having fun. Everyone is singing. Everyone is happy. Uta is obviously the first one to get the karaoke done. And that was very sweet. And she says goodbye to her grandfather on the next, I don't know if it was the next day. I think it was later that day. I'm not sure. I think it was later that day. And she says goodbye, and she says that whenever he wants, she will help him store away the things from her grandmother. She is ready to do that. Q-chan also says his goodbyes, and they leave. And we have a very funny scene of Uta with Q-chan, and Q-chan is talking in in his voice, in his own voice, and in his own mind. And Uta listens to something, and then there was a little joke between them. Very, very cute. I love it. Friends forever for sure. Kyu-chan was very, very important for Uta in this episode. He was the one who was able to bring forth that special something that was stored by Uta's grandmother. And at the end of the episode, there was also another scene that was extremely important. Puririn and Maruran were mostly away in this episode, especially in the scenes where everybody was involved, because they are fairies. They cannot appear to everyone. And they, in one of the last few scenes, Puririn was very happy to see how many friends Uta has. And Puririn is very happy that she is one of those friends as well. She is one of Uta's friends. And so she is talking to Maruran, and she leaves Maruran behind while going forward, saying that she is Uta's friend. And Maruran stays behind with a very sad face, saying that Netama, she has Uta, she has Nana, she has Kokoro, she has everyone. And Maruran only has Puririn. That was Maruran's closure in today's episode, and it is going to be very important for the next one, which is going to be a big moment in Maruran's loneliness and Maruran's sadness, because Puririn does not have the same eyes to Maruran that Maruran has to Puririn. But before we move on to Maruran's story, it is time to give a round of applause to Uta. Uta, your episode was very, very Kiraala. What a strong moment, my friends. I loved it. Anyways, babies, this was my view on episode 28 from You and Idol PreCure. I can't believe we're that far away with this season already. Wild. Anyways, this is it for now. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you're a member here on YouTube, on Patreon, on Throne, thank you very, very much. And if you've watched up to now, thank you so much as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye!